just questioned your spirit. Does it mean much to you that you finish a game winning the second half, even if you don't win the game?
Yeah, we talk about being never beaten as a football club all the time, and it stems back to our history and what, not too dissimilar to Port in a lot of ways. You know, we've had to fight for everything that the club's been able to achieve, and that's a legacy that's been left to us, and that we want to make sure that we uphold as best we can. And that hasn't been the evidence we provided for parts of this year. But we were outplayed in parts of the game today, but the fight never dissipated.
So what do you take out of those last 25 minutes that might not have been there in the first 75?
Oh, I think even in the first 75, I think the fight was evident. We were doing a lot of things right, but we just lacked the polish. I mean, Port are a very good pressure team so far this year, and we probably played into their hands a few times in trying to be too perfect with our ball movement, and then probably reacted too far the other way by being a bit slow, because we really thought that we were going to get good opportunities to score if we could move the ball a bit quicker, and that was clear late in the game, but it was just too late.
You spoke yesterday about the centre bounces and scores against and the problem. How did you assess that tonight? Improvement?
Yeah,
statistically, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we conceded 1-1.
Yeah.
So that's better than 130 points from 5 games. So it was a much improved effort, and it means that you can be competitive in games for longer, because you know, we've had games where, okay, you concede a goal, that's bad enough, but then you concede multiple goals in quick succession through centre bounce losses, and you're not going to win every centre bounce, but you've got to defend them better than we have, and that was one of the areas that was much better tonight. Was
that mindset, structure, or a bit of both, or major tactical changes, or?
Yeah, all of the above. Yeah, a fair bit of structural change. But I mean, and centre bounce is not just purely the 4 players in there. I should clarify that. It's, you know, because it's if you have a fantastic day in there, you're going to win 60-65% of them. But it's the whole team defence to make sure that you're not scored from the vast majority of them.
Bradle, we talked during the week, post Good Friday. Was that noise for you, or does it hold more weight or make you feel it more because it come from guys like David King and Wayne Carey, the like?
No, it doesn't hold more weight. They've got media positions, so it's obvious what happens when ex-players who work in the media, they're going to be the first port of call, and they're entitled to their opinion. But I think that the criticism and accountability is a good thing. Like you're not immune to it, and you shouldn't shy away from it, but you do have to decipher what's important and focus on what is factual and what is right in front of you. And I think coaches say all the time, we analyse the game to death, and we don't need any reminding of the areas we need to work on. But it's a fact that it can become a distraction, particularly when a club that prides itself on being really tight and really strong has people nipping around the edges.
So in all your reviews, where do you think you felt short in this first period of the season?
Conceding 130 points from centre bounces, which is more than double the second worst team in the comp. Our accuracy's been really poor. Our pressure's been really poor. And when you combine those things in one game, the result's not going to be good. That being said, we've been in games this year where we felt we put ourselves in winning positions and haven't been able to finish off despite those areas that have been poor. So we've just got to improve in those specific areas, and it makes us more competitive and enables us to play a little bit more the style that we want to play. And I thought in the second half our ball movement got back to what we want it to look like. We were really pleased that we brought Nick Larkey in, and he provided another focal point. You know, Ben Brown didn't have a great night tonight, but we had another avenue to goal. Taron Thomas, looked like the player that we know he's going to be today. Looks really sharp and really smart player, good ball user. Cameron Zurhaar adds a different element to our forward structure, and so does Mason Wood. So there were just little glimpses tonight that suggest that the foundation's okay.
So when you made such a strong statement in the pre-season about underestimating North, on reflection, how do you think maybe you overestimated where you could have been? Or
Yeah, I think it's always dangerous to probably make estimations of where you are. I mean, my preference is just to go about your business and do what you do. We again, did we perform above expectations last year? I mean, I don't even really look at that. I'm not comparing it to par. I'm just looking at trying to improve all the time.
but you set a pretty strong line as to what you expected this year.
Yeah, we're a club that's trying to generate hope and enthusiasm with our supporter base. It doesn't send a great message if you say, gee, it's going to be a tough year, guys. Yep.
But then you've got to wear what you say, though.
100%. Yep. But we're in a competition, and we want to compete. So, yeah. But I mean, Rooch, the criticisms are going to come when you're 1-4, 1-5. So, there's what do you want to mitigate that? So it just is what it is. I'm not. But the challenge is that you can get distracted from that stuff, and not to say it doesn't hurt, not to say that it's easy, but we're in this industry. Criticism comes with the territory, and plenty of other clubs, plenty of other coaches have had criticism in recent times and been able to turn it around. So it's a real credit to them that they've been able to focus on the areas they want to improve in, and we're no different.
So when you see your team chipping the ball against defence across from one side to the other, not taking the game on, as a coach, how do you instill that confidence to get them moving forward again rather than playing safe?
Yeah, I think we probably turned a couple over and the defenders went back into their shell a little bit. So we just addressed that, showed them some really clear examples where if we went forward, we looked a lot more dangerous. Now, Port play a pretty high defence as well, so we certainly wanted to bring them up. But once we brought them up, we wanted to attack them deeper, and we just didn't execute that perfectly. But there were times where we did execute it well and we scored.
So what's their mental state like?
Really, that's our group's really impressive in that. I mean, I've been involved been fortunate to be involved in some great clubs, had some great success, but I've also been involved in those same clubs when they've been in much, much, much worse positions than we're in now. And our players, 2017 is a good example, where the character within the group is really solid, and they know what we've got to work on, and they come to training and they go to work. So that gives us a foundation. It doesn't guarantee anything, but they're certainly not going to turn their toes up.
Brad, when do you know Sean Higgins was out of the equation today?
About 89 minutes before the game.
Just ate a dodgy prawn or something? Or?
Yeah, we don't know, but it was bad enough to send him to hospital. So, but Sean Higgins, being the type of guy he is, he made us wait to put the team sheet in, even though he's vomiting on the doctor's leg at the time.
So he's in hospital here now, is he?
No, he's been discharged, so okay. He's back at the hotel.
And McDonald's knee, so he obviously came back on, played through a bit of pain, it looked like.
Yeah, he did. It was Luke's pretty tough, and he did that early in the game. Again, stressed to the doctors that I wanted a no-risk approach, but they were convinced that there wasn't risk of further damage. It was just going to be a pain issue, and Luke was able to push through it.
Brad, do you want to weigh into during players when they come up against their former teammates? No, I think didn't Jasper say that they booed him here anyway when he played for Port? Do they still boo Danger when he comes over to play Adelaide? Yeah, I'd advise against that.
Thanks.